everybody. Teresa Youngstrom here. Memory Care with Teresa Youngstrom. Thanks for coming back. Care partners, you are in for a treat today. We have a woman who is just covering the world with her information, and I'm so excited to share her with you. She has great ideas, she has great ambition, and she has a heart for people who are struggling with brain change. And that's what I just knew as soon as I started following her online, is like, oh my goodness, she'd be perfect for a podcast, and you all are going to love her. Let me tell you about Carrie Aalberts, okay? Widely known as Dementia Darling, she is distinguished educator and passionate advocate for the dementia community. With a master's of science specializing in gerontology and over a decade of hands-on experience in various care settings, Carrie has established herself as a leading voice in dementia education and support. And I agree 100%. As the founder of Dementia Darling, she has cultivated an online community of more than 63,000 followers. Yeah, that's awesome. Creating a nurturing space for caregivers to find education, resources, and support, which we need so desperately. Carrie's expertise has led to collaborations with renowned organizations, including membership in the Age Tech Collaborative from AARP, speaking at CES in 2025, and serving on the Care Squad with Hilarity for Charity. So fun. She's also partnered with Cleveland Clinic and played a main character in Dementia Divas, the first TV show about dementia care. Carrie's mission is to empower caregivers by fighting isolation, challenge, and the challenging prevailing narratives about dementia and aging, and to foster more moments of joy. Please help me welcome Carrie Aalberts. Yay!
Thank you, Teresa, for having me. I
Of
am
course.
honored to be here to talk with you today.
Absolutely. And you're just so dynamic and so fun and so encouraging. And so I just know that my listeners and watchers, because we are on YouTube and we're on Spotify. So
Love it.
some will just be listening, but they really should be able to see us. That would be so great because you are so dynamic. But anyway, thanks again for being here. We only have a short amount of time. So let me dive right in to what got you interested in people living with brain change.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like to say, the seed was planted when I was really young. My dad became my grandmother's primary caregiver when I was 6 years old, and then she passed away from dementia when I was 13. So, first off, I just want to start off the bat. I did not know what was going on. No one explained it to me.
Right.
I am not saying it all started there necessarily, but that is where I first learned um, a little bit that things might change.
Sure.
And for people, and the brain can change. So always had questions throughout my childhood about that. I think my whole family did. We were never really taught. And then I've always gravitated towards older adults, always felt safest and seen and comfortable with older adults as a
Awesome.
child. And when I was able to go to college, and I saw that the University of Nevada, Reno, where I went, had a school of gerontology, the study of aging, which is wild
Yeah.
and it wasn't really a thing. And now it's becoming more known,
Yeah.
thankfully, as a major and as something to study. But I dove in and I never looked back. I mean, my first job was in an intergenerational adult daycare center. So there was 40 people living with brain change that I was caring for, 18 and up, so different ages, and
And
then
didn't you fall in love with
all
them right away?
fall in love. I mean, completely head over heels in love. And that's what I mean, that was my first job in that world. And it was immediately like, this is why I'm on this planet.
Mhm.
This is why this is what I'm meant to do. And ever since, yeah, I know I'm in the right place. I know this is what I'm supposed to do.
I'm so
So
glad you dove in. And, it's okay to not know everything going in. I mean, I was a nurse of 30 years when my mom got sick, and I thought, "Oh, I can do this." Oh, yeah, so she threw me out of the blankety blank house. So, listen, it's not A plus B equals C. And each of these
no.
individuals are different, and we really have to take the time to personalize this care. And once you start figuring that out, boy, you're ahead of the game. But I am so excited that there was a spark in you for these individuals because we need you. We need you out there. Listen, I noticed your website, dementiadarling.com. I'll just promote that. That your
Thank you.
services are divided in kind of three parts. Can you elaborate on
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm still really trying to figure out what my piece of the puzzle is in the dementia community.
Hmm.
I really struggle with wanting to help in a lot of different ways, and I'm still trying to figure out, because there's so many complexities to the dementia care, journey, and there's so much support that's needed. So I'm
Yep.
still trying to figure that out. But really, what I do is I do a lot of speaking to
Mhm.
professional staff, management, whatever it may be in the senior care world.
Right.
And I'm trying to really share compassionate dementia care and different mindsets, and also supporting the mental health of professionals out here in this field.
Right. We
So
need it.
one silo is that speaking. I do a lot of social media collaborations with like-minded companies that are building in this space, that are innovating to make life a little bit easier on the dementia journey. So I am all about that. And that's where that age tech kind of side of me comes in.
Right.
And then I also do a lot of work on the ground with senior living communities, and getting inside these communities and understanding how to kind of bridge the gap between families and communities, and have that training in person, and have those just kind of changes in the way we look at things, so we can kind of change how people see senior living, how people see memory care, and how we can be part of a team. And so there's just a lot of things that I'm working on, but those are kind of what my focuses are.
Yeah, I love that. And I understand completely about things evolving because in my company, I was teaching CEs, and then COVID happened and then I had to go online teaching and I was just teaching online. And so yeah, it has changed over the years and now I'm a podcaster and who knew that would happen, right? But it's so
Wild.
exciting. But still have get to do wonderful consultations and serve people like that. It's so wonderful to give them some tools in their tool belt so they just feel more comfortable with their person. And it changed everything for how we cared for my mom. But I had to learn some things and then train my family up. So I love what you're doing. You've been
Thank you.
featured in so many podcasts and programs. Can you share a couple of these amazing events with my audience?
Yes. Well, there's so many incredible groups out there doing such incredible work,
Yes.
important work. And so, as we've kind of touched on, being part of the Age Tech Collaborative with AARP has been such a mind-blowing experience. And to be at CES with them, and to really be integrated into the specific tech that is happening, and the back end of how they're developing this type of tech, and meeting people where they are in the dementia journey.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky that I live in Las Vegas, where a lot happens.
Yeah.
So I've been able to, at CES this year, speak about how people in the age tech world can be building for their audience, because some people go in and they don't even really understand who they're building for.
Right.
So that's been really beautiful, having opportunities to connect with people I really wouldn't have in the senior living world, and then take what I'm learning in the tech world and bring that over to families and caregivers. So yeah, one of the big thing is the CES show, the
Hmm.
biggest tech show in the world that we are present at. And then another part of being with in Vegas is I work with Cleveland Clinic, which is the one out here, which
Super cool.
is the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health out here in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
It is the most amazing place, because unfortunately in Nevada, we do not have many resources, and
Hmm.
people were actually, they realized, going to California for memory care support. So we have Lou Ruvo Center now, and they work with celebrities, because
Yes,
it's Vegas,
that's right.
and that's where the women's Alzheimer's movement is housed as well. The first one from Maria Shriver, where they're
Wow.
doing amazing research for women in Alzheimer's and just all the things. But through my work with them, I do a lot of collaborations, and in turn, I get to go to these events that are star-studded. So
Yes.
I've been the last 3 years to their big gala, and then the last 2 years media on their red carpet, which who would have thunk? I go to
So
school for
cool. I mean,
gerontology, and
yeah.
yeah, now I'm talking to Jimmy Kimmel on a red carpet. It makes no sense.
Right, and so, so cool. I've seen clips, and you're amazing. You're natural up there. You really are.
It's so nerve-wracking, and there always is something that goes wrong on the red carpet, let me tell you, on the back end of things, but it has
Sure.
been such an eye-opening experience to also just be in front of these people that you look up to,
Yeah.
and realize, "Oh, they're going through it just like the people I support."
Yeah.
And, I did not I have not met one person on that red carpet in the last 2 years that hasn't been touched by dementia or is a caregiver or is supporting a caregiver in their life. And I've had people that haven't even talked about it in their public life as a celebrity, and they have opened up to me on a carpet and
Right.
started to cry and said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know people like you existed." And to hear that,
Right.
I mean, you could see it when I talked to Kristen Bell and Dak Shepard. They had personally been through something with a family member, and that was the first time. I mean, I've seen Dax talk about that, and he was opening up about that, and Kristen was on it with how hard, being a caregiver is,
Yeah.
and meeting people where they are. So it's just another reminder that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't discriminate. If you
Doesn't.
have a brain, you could have dementia. And also, we're all going to be touched by caregiving in some form or another in our lives. Whether you are rich, like a celebrity, or not, you're going to be touched by these
Right.
experiences.
And you're
And
going to need help.
um,
We
yeah,
all
we got to
need
talk about
help,
it. Yeah.
and I try and tell people, don't go this alone. Don't go it alone. It can take you
Yep.
down. Get some help early on. You need help and you need training. This old nurse needed training, I can tell you that. But it was a game changer because
Absolutely.
we
I know
learned how
many
to have her
people.
be happy, and
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
rocket science.
But it's just those mindset shifts that if you don't know, you don't know.
That's right.
And that's why even, a post on social media can be a game changer for someone because it's just making you think about things a little differently. And again, yeah, no one teaches you how to do this stuff until you wake up and you're like, oh, someone living with dementia, I'm in charge of their life now. I got to figure this out,
Yeah.
and it's too much.
Yeah. Whether it's, helping them put their shoes on or eating a meal or how to go to bed. I mean, it's a lot, but we need to let people know there are resources out there. There are
There are.
resources like Carrie
Yeah.
Aalberts, and they need to know about you. That's why you're here, kiddo.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I've seen your interview. Well, the famous people. This is kind of you already answered this that um, they need dementia training, really, just like the person across the street.
They do.
You know.
And and that's why I love if you follow along with Emma Hemming Willis, who is
Oh
Bruce
yes.
Willis's wife,
Yes.
she has dove in, right? And she has been an advocate.
I can't wait for her
She
book.
Oh, I just got chills. I know, I can't wait. I love her podcast. I love everything she's doing. And I had the pleasure of meeting her,
Did
and
you?
she's yes.
So jealous, so
And I'm gonna
jealous.
be with her again in May with Maria Shriver. And
You
I
go, girl.
Thank you. I can't believe my life. It's
Yes.
unbelievable. Um, and Emma is just doing it. She's put her heart out there. She is fighting for people. And if anyone listening is dealing with FTD, if they're dealing specifically with frontal temporal dementia, or anything in that kind of wheelhouse,
Yes.
please look into the Association for Frontal Temporal Dementia. That's who Emma works with a lot.
Mhm. She's married
They
to
have
Bruce Willis, for those of you who
Yes.
don't know. She
Yes,
is
thank you,
married
yeah.
to Bruce Willis, and she's
Bruce Willis's
caring for
wife,
him.
she's been very, vocal about their journey, which has been
Yes.
so helpful for people, and honestly for FTD, because people didn't know what FTD was until Bruce Willis.
And it is a different animal, it just is.
It's completely a yes. And
Yeah,
that's what we need to understand is dementia does not just equal memory loss. Sometimes the memory loss isn't even really apparent. It's completely other things,
right,
personality changes, communication changes, so
right.
many other things. And that needs to be just put out to the masses is that it is more than memory
It
loss.
is, and there are more than 120 diagnoses out there.
Yes.
It's not all just Alzheimer's. Yes,
I just need to scream that
I know.
all the time,
I do
and that
too.
we need research in different areas of different types of dementia, causes for dementia. We need more research about
Definitely.
other things besides
Yeah.
Alzheimer's. Yeah.
And just to be able to keep training people and give them the tools that they need to come alongside and join their person on the journey. Not to try and get them to do this, get them to do that. And no, 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 no. You have to come in, joining them on the journey. I tell people you can have a list of things you want to accomplish today with your person. I like a list. I like to be organized like that.
Me too.
But I tell him, put that list right in your back pocket when you come in because you need to have a great approach. You need to make that connection, give them a compliment, start that day off right. Because if you don't, It's not gonna go well, and don't think you're gonna get to your list, especially those
Unfortunately,
toenails.
no.
It's not gonna happen. So,
No, and we have to look at the things that we do accomplish as wins, and we have to
every
see
day.
them as that and not focus on only the losses that we and that's what's so hard, right? Is
Yeah.
we see our person losing all of these things that make them who they
Mhm.
are, and that's easy to get caught up in that, but it's
Yeah.
so important to, remember that we need to hold on to what is still there when we have it, and we need to celebrate that,
Yeah, and don't you think
and
it's about the relationship?
yes, yes,
It's not about whether
yes.
their hair got combed,
No,
you know?
no.
It's about the relationship with this person. Can you maintain that first and foremost? I think, you know?
100%.
But you gotta take
Yeah.
care of you too. What advice do you have for the care partners? Because
Mm.
it's just vital that care partners get help. What's your best advice for care partners?
First off, I just wanna validate that you have the hardest job on earth, and I want you to be proud of yourself for all that you do,
Every day.
and I don't want you to beat yourself up for putting yourself on the back burner.
Mhm.
Because it's natural. It's normal to do that.
Yep.
But I want, to always put out the message and not shame, but also remember we need to reframe how important our health is.
Oh my
And I know it's
goodness,
the only
yes.
thing we have kind of control over, right? We're like, whatever, I can deal with that later.
Yes.
But we deserve the loving care that we give to others.
Mhm.
And I was just talking to a caregiver yesterday, and she said, every time I make an appointment for my loved one, I make one for myself.
Oh, that's
So
great advice.
and I know that's a lot though, and I get it, but, like, try there, because when we push our appointments off for years and years, um,
Boy,
y
it catches up.
it catches up, and if we don't take the time, the universe takes it for us, right?
Oh
We break a
boy.
leg or we get really sick and we really can't move. So, if we have to turn it around and say, if I don't take care of myself, I can't show up for the people I care for. If that's what's the motivation, that's great, whatever it has to be. But I know it's really difficult. So I just want to validate it's so hard and you are not alone, and self-care changes. So be aware that, your self-care that you maybe did in your 20s is not going to be the same as it is maybe today in your caregiving journey, or
No.
it's not going to be the same when you're 10 years from now. It's self-care changes. And right now, self-care might be getting to the dentist.
Yes.
Self-care might be getting on a long phone call with a friend once a week.
Yep.
Self-care might be starting to look for a therapist that sees
Mhm.
you and understands caregiving. Or it's sitting in the sun a little bit longer in the morning with your book and coffee. Whatever that is,
Right.
start with something. If it's 5 minutes, if it's some people say, I can't get 5 minutes, try 2 minutes, try
Yep.
1 minute of deep breathing. Let's start somewhere that's not so overwhelming and we have to think, oh, I have to do this every day. One day,
Boy.
a couple minutes, and start. And just notice how you might feel a little bit better after that couple minutes.
Oh,
And then
so
hopefully you can
vital.
add minutes on. Yeah, every, day or week or whatever it may be. But if your person is safe and they're hanging out,
Yeah.
you can take a breath.
You can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Please give yourself a break. You do not need to be entertaining someone 24 hours a day.
Yeah, and you
You
can.
do not.
And on the flip side, do you ever have um family care partners who want to fix the person living with brain
Of
change? They want to
course.
fix them. And so what advice can you give for those folks?
Of course. Again, validating that that is normal and this sucks.
Mhm.
This sucks. You're watching someone you love change.
Yes. And
Um,
decline.
so, being honest with yourself about your emotions and speaking about it with people that understand and aren't going to gaslight you or make you feel, like, oh, you're being dramatic because you're not.
Right.
Talk to people that understand. But,
Mhm.
you know, when we have to realize, unfortunately, and this is why I think educating yourself is self care, is educating yourself on the dementia progression. And I'm not saying, to make it completely separate, but dementia and your person are different things. And unfortunately, dementia is a progressive brain change that is not in your loved one's control, is not in your control. Um, it sucks.
Yep.
But once we, can kind of separate the two and realize, okay, their brain is changing. No one can do anything about that,
Right. We can't
unfortunately.
fix it.
But what can we do to make life the best it can be?
Yes.
How can we adapt and then get the best that we can out of the quality of life that we both can have during this experience. So, again, we have to kind of face that we feel we want to fix them, but we have to face that unfortunately that's not possible.
Right.
But we can do the things that are in our power, like you said, to come in and have good connections, to meet them where they are,
Mhm.
and to again give them the best quality of life possible, keeping them in, socializing in circles
Yeah.
with people that they care for. Making sure that they can be purposeful in their life with
Oh,
what
isn't that
they care
vital?
about,
We
right?
all need
Yeah.
purpose.
Yes, and, we often say give them the sense of purpose. No, give them purpose,
Give them
give them
purpose.
something that is purposeful.
Yeah, that they can do.
And, those are the ways that we can kind of, I think, see the beauty in it and not focus as much on the loss that's happening,
Yes,
but what can still be done. There's not much to say because it just sucks, and
it
it's the
does.
hardest thing to
But I
watch
never
someone
wanna
you love
lose
change.
hope that their person is still in there.
They are there. They are. It
I
just might get
it breaks
hard
my
to
heart when
find.
people think, "Oh,
Yeah,
they're not there anymore." Oh, no, 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 they're there.
they are. And that's why we have to keep finding ways to meet them where they
Yes.
are. So
Connect
if
with
your
them and they feel
person
safe.
Yeah, yeah, and Teresa, one of my favorite things I say to families, and I think it's really helped a lot of families, is, let's say the transition from when your loved one, let's say I'm taking care of my mom, and all of a sudden she thinks I'm her mom.
Okay,
Okay, I'm
it
not
happens.
her daughter anymore, right?
It happens a
So
lot.
exactly. So we got to think, wow, this is really tough. First off, my mom doesn't see me as her daughter anymore. But let's look at it this way too. How cool is it that my mom still sees me as this amazing woman she feels safe and loved from, and
Mhm.
now I'm her mom in her life. That's cool, and that's a
It is cool.
beautiful thing that she still sees me as this safe place, her home. I am a person who is a home to her, and it doesn't matter if I'm her daughter, her mom, her sister, a friend, I am still in her world with her.
Right.
And I think, showing that, we're it's not her fault or our fault, but in her brain, she is literally in a timeline where I wasn't born yet, but her mom was
Yeah,
there,
she's
and
back
so
in
cool that
time.
I'm going with her into this world and I can still be a part of it. So, I
Yeah.
think that sometimes can help with the, like, shift
Yeah,
in our
being able to
mind.
roll with that. So important to be able to roll with that when they, call you the wrong name or, maybe they don't think they're home, and,
Yeah, it's
uh,
so hard, so complex. It's so hard on our mental and emotional and our physical body as caregivers. Everything is working on overload. I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh my gosh, this is so good. You have so many wise things to say, and I can just feel your heart in everything that you're saying, and that is what is so important. Listen, how can my audience follow you more closely and seek more of this wisdom that they so need?
Absolutely. Well, first off, I want to say that I learn so much of this from family caregivers because they are the experts. And I just want to shout them out. You guys are the experts. You have so much wisdom. And please be proud of the wisdom and everything you're learning on this journey, even when it's really
Mhm.
hard. Just know you are growing as a person and you are learning and you are so wise. And you're going to help other people in your future
Yes.
because they're gonna go through it too. So just putting that out there. I've learned from you and I thank you. Come join me on social media. I'm coolest, if you will, on Instagram at Dementia Darling, and come hang out on the page and just be a part of a community that gets it. I mean, the comments are amazing and you can just see people becoming friends, on a post and just relating
Yep.
to things that so many people don't understand. And so at Dementia Darling on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Threads, and TikTok. I think that's it. And then email me info at dementiadarling.com or go to my website, dementiadarling.com. And I just want to help you get to the right resources and supports. And please know that you are not alone. And there are a lot of people really trying, like Teresa, to make the world a better place for the dementia community. So please seek that community and support because they are out there.
They are out there. There are good people out there with a heart like yours, who can really serve them. I just absolutely love that. What's your next big event coming up?
Oh my gosh. So in April, I am going to the red carpet premiere of Seth Rogen and Lauren Rogen. It's a documentary, Taking Care, that came out, and it came out right when the fires happened in
Oh my
LA,
gosh.
and I was
Oh
supposed
my
to go
gosh.
for it then, and then they changed it. So we're going back and we're going to do this at Universal Studios, which is so cool, and red carpet, and watch
You are
the
becoming a
Taking
rock
Care.
star. It's so amazing.
Oh, it's wild. Yeah.
I
So
know. Good for
that'll
you.
be the next one. It's so
Good.
cool.
That is so great. And so there's a movie coming out.
Yes, it's actually already out. I think you can watch it on Apple and Prime, but it's called Taking Care. And Lauren Miller Rogen, Seth Rogen's wife, her mother was living with Alzheimer's and they cared for her. And that's why they have their foundation, Hilarity for Charity, or
Okay.
HFC, which I'm part of their care squad for the last few years. And they do amazing work. They have respite grants for caregivers to be awarded with for hours of respite care. They have
Awesome.
free support groups for different types of caregivers, millennial caregivers, male caregivers, Black caregivers. They have it. So please check them out. They have such incredible support for caregivers and young caregivers as well.
Wow, that is desperately needed too. There really is help out there. I think I frequently talk to families, they're like, no, I can't afford help. And then I just want to hit the pause button and say, let's think about that. Because I know when we were finding help for my mom, it was interesting that I had a couple cousins wanted to come sit with her. You know, they'd watch the bird feeder with her and wasn't a big deal, it's fine. And there just might be relatives, there might be grandchildren who could come over and they could ask grandpa to show them how to mow the grass, and then he could observe them and be in charge with his purpose. You
Absolutely.
know, they're just, I just think we got to get outside the box and be creative on getting care because they're going to need more and more help. And then to know your plan B, because if they can't stay in your home the entire time, boy, we need plan B set up already ahead of time because all of a sudden, boy, if someone falls, gets hurt, whatever, and then we need plan B. And if we haven't really sought that out, we're
It
in a world
has
of
to.
hurt, aren't we?
100%. And just this popped in my head. There's a lot of wonderful apps coming out that are free that you can have on your smartphone and delegate help. And people can pick up shifts of things, can pick
Okay.
up things, and you can kind of put that out there into the world
Yeah.
and into your care circle. So, something like Care Mobi is one of them,
Okay.
developed at NYU by my good friend, Dr. Tina, who is a doctor and a family caregiver. So she gets it, a sandwich caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
So she created this amazing free app, Care Mobi, and then there's Ionic Care, which is free as well from the Age Tech Collaborative, and they're about to come out with something with AARP. There are
Cool.
wonderful platforms to help caregivers. So if you follow me, I'll be sharing a lot about that, and I'll definitely need to share it with you, Teresa, so you can get it out
Okay.
there to people.
I would love that. So many great resources. Well, we got our work cut out for us, Carrie.
Yes,
And
we do.
But I'm up for it. I'm up for it
Me
because it
too.
means so much. And as
Agree.
soon as you help one person, you get your batteries all charged up to stay in there and keep doing it because it's just so, so very important. And these people are counting on us. If the table were turned, we hope that they would do what we're doing, to serve us.
Agree.
So it's just so
Agree.
great. Everybody, thank you. We appreciate Carrie being here. Oh my goodness, and all of her resources. So you're going to have to check out her information. Listen, we're going to load up the show notes with information about Carrie so that you'll be able to go there and learn more and more about where she is, what her resources are, where you can find her, where you can connect with her, because there's a wealth of knowledge right here. And let me tell you, she's soaring to the top of the mountain with her information and is letting it out far and wide. And I just am so excited to have you on the podcast. Thanks again. And
Thank
to
you.
all my listeners, keep in mind, you got this.
You do.